Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. Every now and then this show needs some blasphemy, a little slap in the face of iconic music history milestones, and one of these he's obviously trolling moments true Bad Gear fans crave at least once a year. Today we are going to talk about the legendary D50. This LA synth and Roland's answer to Yamaha's DX7 not only had a huge impact on the sound aesthetics of the late 80s, it is also still relevant for Enya cover bands creating high-end General Midi Kontakt Libraries, channeling your Reagan Era soap opera PTSD, and I might have a point here. At the first glance, the D50 seems to be ticking all the Rompler boxes. But it's not. Its linear arithmetic synth engine is based on two so-called partials, and while these can indeed be used for playback of short, crunchy, and very 80s internal samples, they also allowed for archaic VA-style synthesis long before the term virtual analog was a thing. The rationale behind this was to use samples mostly for the initial attack, because you never get a second chance to mess up a first impression and create the body of the sound with a synth. This subtractive sound generator lets you dial in saw and square waveforms with PWM and both the resonant filter and amp stage come with somewhat intimidating multi-stage envelopes. Samples can't be filtered, but there are 3 LFOs, a pitch envelope, and ring modulation per partial duo. You can combine 2 of these retro-futuristic sound design powerhouses to a split, or indulge in other simple multitimbral pleasures, happily munching away on the total polyphony of 16. Feel free to sweeten your sound with EQ, chorus, a master reverb, and the delay-like chase feature. As we are talking about a big old Roland Flagship keyboard, it might not come as a surprise that the UI isn't much fun. Sure, the display is larger than on many of its contemporary descendants, but patch creation requires you to step into a dimly lit underworld of mind-numbing menus. You can, however, use the joystick for quick parameter adjustments or finding the right partial blend. Apart from this welcome distraction, the synth isn't exactly ideal for real-time sound tweaking, unless you can find a dedicated controller like the original PG-1000. But hey, it's a player's instrument anyway. Decent keypad, aftertouch, which doesn't work properly on this one anymore, but nothing else that distracts you from making a living as a musician. Speaking of, all the 1987 moneymakers like Fantasia, Pizzagogo, and Soundtrack are still there. D50s are robust, somewhat affordable on the used market. Their spirit lives on in later Roland products like V-Synth, D05 Boutique or Cloud. Memory cards are kind of expensive. Get a copy of the D50 creative book because the normal manual totally sucks, and thanks to Asife for lending me another classic from his collection. The D50 was the not-so-secret sauce of countless legendary songs. Can it still bring something new to the table, or will it forever sound like the late 80s? You have already heard the synth in today's intro tune. Who else feels the strong urge to sail away? I wanna know if we can squeeze some tones from that keyboard that didn't make it into late 80s radio. was a pleasant surprise. Literal 80s bells and whistles aside, the lo-fi waveforms are a great foundation for less cliched tones, and the sounds sit in the mix nicely. The D50 is mostly known for its distinct sample-based patches. Time to put a pure VA synth sound in the spotlight and add a few presets for good measure. Okay, that won't replace your vintage analog poly, but I appreciate the softness of the filter. The original presets, while beaten to death back in the day, are unironically beautiful. The chronology of classic songs featuring the D50 more or less abruptly ends in the year 1991. Let's find out if it can still hold up in more contemporary arrangements, like this better not tell all those EDM kids that their parents' top 40 band keyboard has some serious bass cinemascope techno. D50 is a great sounding vintage synth with a rich legacy and some of the best preset sound design of all time, which is a blessing and a curse. Like on most digital 80s synths, the patch creation process isn't exactly convenient, so the instrument is strongly linked to a short period in music history and sound aesthetics many people perceive as hopelessly dated. A pity given the classy sheen of its versatile engine. Wouldn't it be great if Roland captured the essence of this not-so-timeless classic, its unique structure and characterful building blocks of sound, and put it in a new instrument? Well, they did, with every proper digital synth they have brought to the market since 1987. Thanks for watching and see you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and use one of the links down below that support the channel regardless of what your bad gear gas commands you to buy.